Welcome back to Fix It Line. I'm Chris Eddy. Today we're learning about task lighting. To help me do that, we have Randy Whitehead, who is a lighting designer and author of Lighten Up, which is a favorite title of mine. First of all, we're task lighting. Not everybody's familiar with that type of lighting. Explain to me.
Task lighting is a light by which you do work, and I think there are a couple places in the house that I think it's very important, one being the kitchen and one being the closet.
Why do we need it?
Well, what it is it's a way for us to do work safely, for one. Without good task lighting, you end up working in shadow, which is a little bit dangerous, and also sometimes if you're dealing with glare, it causes eye fatigue.
Okay, you mentioned the kitchen and like a home office or something.
That's right.
Why those? Well, let's start with the kitchen first.
Okay.
Why am I going to need it in the kitchen?
Well, in the kitchen, usually what you see is the one fixture located in the center of the ceiling. What happens is that when you turn to work at the counter or open a cabinet, you're in your own shadow.
Okay. Any suggestions for fixing that?
Of course I have suggestions.
That's why you're on the show.
That's right. What I think you should have is light underneath the overhead cabinets.
Okay.
A task light located there.
Do we have something like this?
That's right. This would be a good example of one. When you normally see it, it's mounted towards the back of the cabinet, facing out towards the kitchen.
That'd be like this, with the light showing out?
That's correct.
Okay.
The difficulty with that is that when you sit down at the kitchen table, then you get that light right in your eyes.
Okay. So what would we do with this?
Well, this particular fixture and many other manufacturers is made so that it could be mounted towards the front of the cabinet, so the light bounces back towards the backsplash and down onto your counter, but eliminates that glare.
And what's this called again?
It's called a linear task light or an under-cabinet light.
Okay. And it diffuses the light by bouncing off a little bit?
That's right. It gives you good shadowless light without the glare.
Okay. And what's this second piece right here?
This one's called a puck light, and it's a version of a task light. They would be run in series underneath the cabinet. It's a little bit more clean looking, a little more Euro style. And as you can see, it has a frosted lens on it that helps spread the light out instead of having spots of light along the counter.
Okay. And we're going to mount this where?
Underneath the overhead cabinet.
Okay, so the cabinets you open up about eye level.
That's right.
You're going to put this up right underneath there.
Yeah,
like
they would be slightly below eye level, because really your optimum task light comes between your head and your work surface.
Okay. Finished with the kitchen, working into, let's go to my computer room, which I have some problems with eye strain when I'm dealing with the light and the computer screen and all that. What can we do with that?
Well, I think a lot of the problems that we see in the home office are the same ones that we have in the big offices, and there's lots of these lights up in the ceiling where they're recessed or track or surface-mounted fixtures, but each one of those creates a little hot spot on the screen. What I recommend that you do is you turn those lights off and you add an ambient, an uplighting source in the room to give you the light that you need without the glare.
Okay, and that would be like this one right here?
This is a real simple one. This is a portable uplight, costs about $18, $20, and I recommend that you put it behind the monitor so that what you've got is less of a contrast between the light of the screen and the walls around it.
And it faces straight up and not back against the wall?
It should be straight up, because what you're doing is you're bouncing light off of the ceiling, and then as it comes back down, it comes down in different angles so that it's not really creating any kind of glare for you.
Okay, so it's relieving the stress on your eyes a little bit more.
Exactly.
And I just, this is all I need, and this will help me out with my eye?
Well, I think this is part of it. It's not the whole solution. I think you should also have a good desk light, like this one right here, a little swing arm guy. And what that does is it gives you light along your keyboard on the things that you're reading. But as you can see with the solid top like you've got here, it doesn't glare back at you, so you don't have the eye fatigue problem again, and it gives you specific light without any reflection onto your screen.
Okay, and it doesn't, it does go up and down, correct? Is there a
good
height that you should have it at?
Well, like I said before, that you want to have it between your head and your work surface.
Right.
So below eye level would be perfect.
Okay. But you don't want to have it too low, so it's obstructing what you're working on,
That's right.
correct? Okay.
Absolutely.
Finally, any tips to give anyone?
Well, I mentioned earlier about the closet or the laundry room. A lot of people in the laundry room have an existing fluorescent fixture, but it's very hard to pick colors under the fluorescent that we grew up with, that sort of greeny light.
Okay.
Now what's available is called a full spectrum or daylight fluorescent that equates daylight, like the sun. So just like when we run over to a window to see what colors are, you can do that right at the work surface on top of your washer and dryer.
So it's like taking that stuff outside and getting a good look at what your clothes look like.
That's right.
Perhaps some people don't want to do that. All right, thanks a lot. I appreciate it.
You're very welcome.
All right, next, blinds that jangled and tangled.